Growing up, there were two types of Saturday morning cartoons. The first type you didn't really care about. If you had to run to the kitchen for more Fruity Pebbles, it's an acceptable loss. Then there's the second type, which you wouldn't miss a second of even if the sky was falling. Maybe it was Johnny Quest, or perhaps the Smurfs. Some cartoons are so special that you can't tear your eyes away from them. Every decade had them, but the 1970s had some of the best of all time. I'm Nostalgic Nick for Do You Remember, and today we're going back to the 70s to take a look at some of the best cartoons of them all. Be sure to mash that thumbs up button for us, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video. But for now, on to the tunes. Scooby Doo, Where Are You? The biggest cartoon of the 70s, without a doubt, is Scooby Doo Where Are You? Everybody knows the lovable, cowardly Great Dane and his group of mystery-solving friends. But did you know that the show was originally titled Mysteries 5 and starred a dog named Too Much? But then the show's producer was listening to a little Frank Sinatra when he was inspired by old Blue Eyes Scat at the end of Strangers in the Night. Doobie doobie doo. So the dog's name was changed to Scooby Doo, and the rest is history. The show was actually created because a group of parent-run organizations started protesting Saturday morning cartoons, such as Space Ghost and Birdman being, in their eyes, too violent for children. Hanna-Barbera decided to develop a show based around teenagers that solve mysteries, and thus Scooby-Doo was born. Needless to say, the show was a massive hit, easily one of the most successful cartoon franchises of all time. It inspired 2 box office hit movies and has been on the air in some form for 35 of the last 50 years. Scooby-Doo's cultural impact is undeniable, and we'll all probably still be yearning for some Scooby snacks for another 50 years. The Pink Panther Show. Once you start humming the theme song from the Pink Panther Show, the tune is going to be stuck in your head all day, which is a good thing. The Pink Panther originally appeared during the credits of the famous live-action movies of the same name, about Inspector Clouseau. But the character didn't come into its own until he got its own cartoon in the early 70s. The show focused on the escapades of the sly, debonair feline, and of course the bumbling Inspector Clouseau. Consisting of several short vignettes, the Pink Panther Show was initially shown on broadcast TV before being released for the big screen, because you can never have too much Panther. Although harder to find in reruns than some other cartoons on this list, the Pink Panther is an iconic character that remains well known almost 50 years later. Dastardly and Muttley in their flying machines. Yep, you heard that right. And having the best name in cartoon history wasn't all that this early 70s gem had going for it. A spin-off of Wacky Races, the show focused on the efforts of Dick Dastardly and his canine sidekick Muttley to capture Yankee Doodle Pigeon, a carrier pigeon transporting secret messages. Need more? Well, Dastardly and Muttley flew World War I era Red Baron-esque biplanes and had their plots inevitably foiled in the most slapstick ways imaginable. With Dastardly crashing to Earth, he would scream to Muttley for help, who would demand unspecified medals before doing his trademark snicker and whisking him to safety. Despite sounding like the fever dream of a 6-year-old history buff, Dastardly and Muttley and their flying machines was immensely entertaining and a welcome break from other formulaic shows of its era. Don't ever let people tell you that the 70s weren't an amazing time to be alive. Schoolhouse Rock. Conjunction junction, what's your function? I'm not quite sure, but my function growing up was loving Schoolhouse Rock, a short educational cartoon that aired in between other shows on Saturday mornings. And I know what you're thinking, educational equals boring. But here you'd be wrong, because the show really did rock. Schoolhouse Rock was created after an advertising executive noticed that his son was having trouble learning his multiplication tables, but could recite every word of every Rolling Stones song by heart. His solution? Put simple school lessons to music, make a cartoon, and educate the world. Each season of Schoolhouse Rock focused on a different theme. Topics as varied as civics, math, grammar, and economics. The show produced many memorable tunes, from the aforementioned Conjunction Junction,
Conjunction Junction, what's your function?
to I'm Just a Bill,
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill.
which taught kids how laws are written. The shorts are still shown in schools till this day, and the fact that I still remember every word of the preamble to the Constitution is a testimony to their effectiveness. Josie and the Pussycats. Take the Archies, cross them with Scooby Doo, add in some leopard print leotards, and voila, Josie and the Pussycats. The show focused on the eponymous teenage all-girl pop band and their entourage, who solved mysteries while touring the world. The climax of each episode invariably featured a chase scene between the band and a hapless villain, all choreographed to a Josie and the Pussycats song. While the show might seem just a bit derivative of some of its predecessors, Scooby Doo, it actually brought a few new ideas to the table. Whip-smart band bassist Valerie was the first regularly appearing female African-American character on a Saturday morning cartoon, and Josie and the Pussycats' second season took place in space after the whole group accidentally boarded a rocket ship. I assume for the sole reason that space is awesome. And maybe Josie's entourage bumped into the Partridge Family clan up there. For more on that cartoon, check out our wacky cartoons from the 70s video. Although it only ran for 2 seasons, the Pussycats' legacy lives on. A live-action movie starring the group was released in 2001. Meow. Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. Hey, hey, hey. Any kid growing up in the mid-70s remembers the iconic catchphrase of Fat Albert.
Hey, hey, hey! It's Fat Albert!
The star of Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. The show was based on comedian Bill Cosby's memories of his childhood gang growing up in North Philadelphia, and was an educational treat every Saturday morning. Fat Albert was ahead of its times for a children's cartoon. The show regularly tackled such difficult topics as drug use, child abuse, and gang violence. At the end of every episode, the gang would always learn an important life lesson, generally set to the music of the kids' junkyard band.
Drugs up for dummies!
Or communicated by the conscience of the gang, Fat Albert himself. Due to recent revelations, it seems that Cosby should have taken some of his own life lessons to heart. TV Guide actually called it the best cartoon of the 1970s, and it became a live-action movie in 2004. Super Friends. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman, and Wonder Woman, and Batman, and Robin, and Aquaman? Woo, because what's better than one superhero? Lots of superheroes. 1973's Super Friends brought the aforementioned 5 members of DC Comics together for the first time to form the Justice League, decades before the live-action movie. The 5 superheroes were joined by a trio of sidekicks, 2 humans without powers, and a dog with the unexplained ability to talk. None of the heroes' traditional supervillain foes made an appearance in the original iteration of Super Friends, with the team instead facing off against mad scientists or aliens every week. But by 1978, our heroes were facing off against the legendary Legion of Doom, headed by Superman's brainiac foe Lex Luthor, and featuring the classic Batman villains the Riddler and Scarecrow. The show also had a strong environmental message for its time, with the Friends spending much of their time trying to avert various natural disasters. Kids being able to watch all of their favorite heroes in one spot made Super Friends into a massive hit, still relevant today. Jinkies! What a list of cartoons! It sure was good to be a kid in the 1970s. What were your favorite cartoons of the decade? Did we miss any massive ones? Let us know in the comments below. We read every one. And hey, if you enjoyed this cartoonish rewind, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, otherwise you can't be our super best friends. As always, from all of us here at Do You Remember, thanks for watching.